What is happening, everybody? Welcome to a beautiful, snowy, cold, not so beautiful Sunday night here in mid-Michigan. How's everybody out there doing tonight? Watching a little bit of the football game, the football game, as they say. It's kind of hard for me because fantasy football kind of takes over our lives and whatnot. So I find myself rooting for the Saints, even though Tom Brady's kind of my dude, so difficult. But anyway, I digress. You guys aren't here to hear me whine about fantasy football or anything else. We're here to talk about some whiskey. Look at all you people hanging out in the chat early. Love you guys. DC, pregame, mount up. Love it. Regulators. Steve Dameron, Josh Randall, Barn Door. How you doing, brother? Roy R. Does Things. Josh Randall, John Gresham. Love your books. Trev Wilson, the wrench, the consummate wrench, the dude, he's here. Cole George, Cool Runnings, OG Brick 420. What's good with you, brother? Who else we got here? Linux Cat, hey Donnie, Mike Franklin, Cheech Artolino, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Will Henderson, I said OG Brick, I said him again. Kilco, what's going on, Brian? Sherry G, Brian Casey, Amanda Sprague. Amanda Sprague is healing on the couch with a glass of whiskey. Amanda Sprague, don't ever pet a strange dog again. Just don't. It's not something you do. So when Amanda and Carrie were in Atlanta last week, they were walking to a restaurant or a bar or something like that, and out in front of this place, there's some people with a dog. And Amanda reaches down to pet the dog, and the dog tears a gash in her arm open. She had to get rushed to the emergency room, get a bunch of stitches, and just, you don't pet strange dogs, sweetheart. It's just, you got to know better. It's not what you do. It's not what you do. Then Carrie comes home and she decides it's the weekend, so she's got to get sick again because that's just kind of how things roll around here, apparently. Every Saturday, whether Carrie wants to or not, she decides to get sick. So, crazy, crazy things going on. But I am so glad that you guys are all here hanging out. Gary Franchi is sipping on some Destination Bourbon Pandemic Special. That sounds fantastic. Wish I was sipping on some of that. I'm sipping on some Old Forester 1920, a bottle that we're going to be giving away tonight. Not this particular bottle because it's open, but, a very similar one to that because it's Prohibition Day, the day that the Volstead Act decided to get passed for whatever reason, whatever people were thinking. Also, by the way, all of you fantastic people that are posted on the stream here, make sure that I get your email addresses or I'm sorry, your actual addresses. Like email me, message me, do something so that I can give you the samples from Whiskey Wednesday. So all of the people on the screen, Dave Markowski, Thrasher, Jeremy Riley, Mike Franklin, Austin Feltz, you guys all were drawn to get a sample of the Liberator gin aged in bourbon barrels from the Give the Chat giveaway on Whiskey Wednesday. And then Grant Hartwig, Nicholas Jones, Amy Bohm, Stanley Wagner Jr., and the one and only Trev Wilson were drawn to get a sample of the Distiller's Share Rye. So something on the Whiskey Wednesday I wanted to just kind of give back to anybody that said anything in chat. Not that anyone that was given super chats or anything else, just anybody that said anything. Wanted to give a sample away just for being there and hanging out and being super cool people. So love you guys. Totally appreciate you. And so I wanted to do that for you. So that was something, I'll put this back up a little later so that you guys can actually, see what I've got going on instead of just the whole whatever, big thing saying contact me, people. So tonight we're going to kind of talk a little bit, just hang out, I actually have a flight. It's not really a blind flight because I got to be 150% honest with everybody in chat. I haven't done a blind flight in so long. I don't even know how my palate is anymore if I could do a blind flight. But what I have here are these bottles right here. That's Klein 1, 2, 3, and 4 that I got from Alec Rubin. Maybe 6 months or more ago now. And he has the key. I don't have the key. I have no idea what they are, but I'm just going to sip on those and try to figure out what the heck they are. See if I can get my palate back to somewhat of a normalcy. Boy, a lot of people have been running in here. Will Zirk, 1920, my favorite till I went to your house. 1920 is a delicious bottle. So as you see across the screen, tonight's giveaway for any $5 super chat gets you into the running for a 1920 bottle for Prohibition Day. You know, Bourbon Junkies. What's up, bitches? What's up with you, bitch? Good to see you. Roger D, how you doing? Ryan Tarpey, cheers, brother. Richie Z, Uncle Buck, Jen Artolino, Will Henderson. So, my man Will, when I was out traveling in Philadelphia and Ohio, I found it. I found the Cooper's Craft that you gave to Scotty and I that I liked so much. So, I'm actually going to have a pour of that right now because I want to see if it's as good as I remember it was. Gary Franchiwell, I'll kick off the super chats. Thanks, buddy. You're the man. You are the man. And you know what? If I completely understand if nobody has any super chat funds left after the amazing stream that went on with Matt on Friday. Holy smokes, if you guys didn't see that, that was something. I still, the Dan L and Julie L are here, and you guys are amazing. I would imagine that you guys have been working pretty much all day, every day since that stream to try to get all those samples around and get everything out for everyone. That was absolutely nuts. So can you get a copyright flag for the, probably. I don't care. So what? So check out this. This is a glass I got from the one and only Stanley Wagner Jr. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. You are fantastic. I keep seeing Coppercraft. Definitely not Coppercraft. Definitely not Cooper's Craft. There's a Coppercraft, but it's definitely not Cooper's Craft. This is definitely Brown Foreman. This is definitely deliciousness. Actually, shipping cost just hits us. Yeah, you guys are going to have some of that. Man, you know, honestly, if this is available in your area, this Cooper's Craft 100 proof for $30, I think is what it was. That should be an everyday drinker for anyone. That is amazing. What it do, you fools? How you doing? Will Henderson. That CC100 is a sleeper. It absolutely is. It's just good. It's straight good. There's nothing horrible about it. It's like a nice 100 proof. It's got a good, nice mellow finish. Very caramely. It's got that yeast strain that smells like Brown Foreman. That since Dan Like is in here, I won't say what it is. It's just good stuff. It's just good stuff. So I saw Dan L said something earlier about my palate may be a little bit off, but still good. You know, it's one thing to be able to do blind flights all the time, because when you're doing them all the time, you kind of get like a rhythm in it, right? You're like, all right, I got a feel for what this flight is, or I got a feel for what that is. I have no idea what's in here. All I know is that Alec told me whatever it is, he wouldn't send it to me now. He was sending it to me before we were as good of friends as we are now 6 months ago. So I don't know if this is a good thing or not. So what I do know is apparently I can't get the tape off, so maybe I won't be trying this one.
Not me, I get that.
No, Carrie, I got it. So you guys all get to hear Carrie because she's not feeling well, but she can't stay out of anything. So she came downstairs. She's laying on the couch, and she'll be talking from time to time. So you guys will have to, like, whatever you hear, that's just Carrie in the background. Maybe she can talk loud enough so you can actually hear her, though. Stanley Wagner, if you need someone to come on, just send the link. Wags, I will do that, buddy. I will send you a link towards the middle or end of the stream, and you can come on and you can talk about all of what you've got going on over on the Instagram. So I'll give you some time to get everything set up, and then I'll fire you over the link. You can jump on. So I'm going to pour some of these out. Some travel news, some channel news before I start like getting into what any of this stuff actually is. End of this month, I am going to be heading to Birmingham. Carrie hanging on the couch again. Can you see her legs this time? Oh yeah, there they are. There's her legs. Maureen, thank you. Yeah, that's where she's at. So the end of this month, I'm going to Birmingham. The first week of the month of February, so the week after that, I'm going to be going to the Palm Coast of Florida. That's going to be fun. And then the week after that, I'm going to be going to Monroe, Louisiana. Then the week of the 22nd, Mr. Will Henderson, if you're still here, I'm coming to Peachtree City, baby. So if anybody's in any of those areas and wants to try to hook up one night, we can get together, have a few pours, do whatever. That would be fantastic. Just shoot me a line or say something in chat and say, yeah, man, I'm down. And we can hang out. It's going to be a good time. Will Zirk, is that the Cooper? Is that the Cooper Craft? Cooper's Craft. Yes, sir. Right there, buddy. I got some. I got some. Destination Bourbon, you won't be far from us. Palm Coast, right down the road from us. See, this is working pretty good. Just throw it out there, and everybody wants to hang out. That's what I was hoping. Mash and Drum, what's up, buddy? How you doing? If you guys didn't catch Jason and I on Wednesday, that was a lot of fun. That dude is a great time. I have a lot of fun with him. Mark Bond, hell yeah, Peachtree's an hour from me. Yeah, the week of the 22nd, Will, I don't have it all figured out yet. Probably going to fly in on that Monday night, and I'll probably leave on Thursday, but I'll be there for most of that week. Trev Wilson, where are you going to be at? When are you going to be in Monroe again? It's going to be either the week of the 8th or the week of the 14th or 15th, whichever that is. One of those 2 weeks. Don't really know which. That's the only one that's not nailed down right now. But that was a great stream, Ethan. Yeah, it was a lot of fun is what it was. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, thank you to Jason for taking me in, letting me hang out in his place, crash his stream. But it was a lot of fun. We had a great time, and he's just a straight up great guy. So a lot of fun hanging out with him. Also working on glassware. So I've sent all of the information to the company that's going to be making and providing the glassware for me. I didn't want to buy a bunch of glassware, have it shipped here, get it, and then repackage it, send it all out individually to everybody else. So I'm working with this company that's going to do fulfillment for us, which is going to be awesome. So you'll be able to order glassware. All the patrons that are due glassware, you will finally get it. I'm sorry that it's taking so long, but I will get that to you. So we are going to have that coming very soon. And I'm also working on coin ideas. So we're going to have coins coming really soon. And then when Carrie and Amanda were in Atlanta, they found some really cool merch opportunities and ideas. So we are going to be working with some other companies to throw you guys some really, really cool merchandise out there that you can get for your bars, your man caves, your whatever. So we're really excited about that. Some really, really cool stuff. Hey, Brett, how you doing, man? Brett Farquad. I love Brett Farquad. Robotic, you and the train man made a great team. Hope you do it again soon. Fuck your train, Jason. Oh, it's the best. I love it. Josh Randall, Team Carrie. Team Carrie 6. So if you're on Team Carrie's team, you are You are out of the box tonight. Thank you, DC. Man, this stuff, the longer it sits, it actually smells sweeter. That Cooper's Craft is legit. I don't even know if Alec is here. He doesn't know I'm doing his flight tonight. I didn't tell him. And he said he was really super hungover, so I'll text him and tell him that I'm actually doing his flight if he actually feels like showing up. But yeah, he said that the liquid IV doesn't work, but it does. It does. He just doesn't know how to use it. Cheech Artolino is dropping the Bourbon Junkies link. You know, I'm pretty sure that every single person here knows the Bourbon Junkies, but it's a great channel. So I'm glad that you're keeping up on them too. They're fantastic, except for Dan and except for Sean. But the rest of the Bourbon Junkies are great. They're great. Mash and Drum. Oh yeah, Cheech is dropping links. I love it, man. Fill them up. Let everybody drop everyone's link. That's just really good stuff, man. That's all I gotta say. Really, really good stuff. So I'm going to put this back up here again for people because we've got quite a bit more people in here. So all of you that that were on the Whiskey Wednesday chat, these are the winners. So again, I was just kind of rapping, hanging out, not really doing much. There was no real plan. So at one point during the stream, I said, anyone that says a chat tonight, anyone that says anything in chat tonight is going to go into the drawing to get a sample. And so the samples were the Mayor Pingree Cask Club Bourbon Barrel Aged Gin and the Mayor Pingree Distiller Share Rye that I got from Justin at the distillery. So a bottle that nobody will ever be really able to have. I'm going to share that out. So been here the whole time, my friend. I didn't know, buddy. I appreciate it. I just in case you were still holding your head, wondering what's going on with your life, I wanted to let you know I was doing your flight. So that's all. Thrasher, you won. Yes, you did. So anybody that's on here, message me, private message me, email me, MikeKlein21@gmail.com, or any of the Instagram, Facebook, any of the Destination Bourbon stuff. Send me your address so that I can get these sent out to you. That would be fantastic. Cameron Lochner, I'm doing great. How are you doing? Wags, you won, baby. Did you see that on there? You won yourself a giveaway on the Whiskey Wednesdays. So I'll make sure to get you the link to this so you can jump on here a little later too. You guys haven't checked out what Stanley Wagner's doing over on Instagram. He's doing some pretty cool stuff, and he's rocking and rolling over there. So Alec, I don't know what I'm getting into with this, and like I told everybody earlier, I haven't done a blind flight in so long. We'll see how well I do. I don't even know what I'm guessing. What am I guessing here, Alec? Am I just saying whether or not I like them? Is that what I'm doing? Because A is pleasant. It's light. It's not super high proof. Smells different. Very, very unassuming. How's that? Heroes get remembered, but the likes never die. Ain't that the truth? That was something. Kind of citrusy. You know, that's so Cheech just put up there about the turds getting to 1,000. The turds got to 1,000. Hot butter rolls got to 1,000. Trev got to 1,000. Everybody's got their 4,000 watch hours, I think, and everybody's getting monetized. It's like 2021 is starting off just kick ass for this community. It's absolutely amazing. I'm so happy. And well, I did tell everybody you sent this in July, so I said it's been a long time since. And you said you wouldn't. The only hint I have is that you said you wouldn't send me this same flight now. So I don't know, Alec. We'll see how she rolls. This is super pleasant. All right. There's almost nothing to that. It's definitely well under 100 proof. Man. So I'd say, I guess I'll just kind of say whether I like it or not. It's okay. It's unassuming. There's not much to it. So Klein number 1 is very meh. How's that? So we'll see what I think meh is when Alec tells us all what it is. Whiskey Tube community is killing it in 2021. It's fantastic. I love it. I love seeing it. It's just so great. All right, so this has got some funk. It smells a little stale, like a little soury, like a sour mash. Or Jen Ardolino hopes you feel better soon, Care Bear. I don't know what's going on with her. She's going to see the doctor this week because it's weird, I guess. I mean, I'm teasing her, telling her she's allergic to the weekend, but that's kind of how it feels like. She gets sick on Saturdays. So I don't understand how that works, but that's kind of, the way it's working. So as I'm getting into this, before I get too far, I actually just remembered I was going to talk a little bit about this whiskey that I'm going to give away tonight. So, as you guys know, the Volstead Act went into effect today. So I'm not the history guy, and I'm nowhere near drunk enough to do drunk history, which is my favorite thing. So I'll actually try to do somewhat accurate history today. But the Old Forester, the 1920 Prohibition whiskey, Old Forester was one of 6 distilleries in Kentucky that continued to bottle bourbon for medicinal purposes. So they obtained a permit that allowed them to continue to produce medicinal whiskey on the same whiskey row, every place, right where they normally do it. So this is the only bourbon that's been continuously sold by the same company throughout all of Prohibition. So the whiskey was part of the Prohibition Act was that it had to be bottled at 100 proof. So with a 100 proof entry, basically the Angel Share created 115 proof whiskey. So what Old Forester did to pay homage to this era, they brought out the 1920 style Prohibition, so that it very similar to the stuff that was produced during Prohibition. So there you go. That's as much whiskey history as I get. I probably butchered that. So there's got to be somebody in chat that's going to be like, that's not even close. But I think that's somewhat accurate. So again, we'll be giving away that the 1920. It's a great bottle. It's just a fantastic bottle. 115 proof. Great bottle of whiskey. See if I can go back to whatever Alec has in this glass. So it almost smells finished. It's got a weird almost like a cognac, Armagnac something type of finish to it. It like a cigar blend or something like that. It smells really good. So that actually has a nuttiness to it that makes me feel more like it's got like wheat or Heaven Hill type product from the nuttiness, but it still smells finished. So maybe I don't know anything. I'm gonna move on to 3. Klein 3. We don't have A, B, C, and D tonight. We have Klein 1, 2, 3, and 4. Carrie is allergic to Klein when he gets back from his trip. Mark, that's probably pretty accurate. I mean, I gotta tell you. I'm gone. She's fine. I get home. She's sick. I mean, I don't think I stink. Maybe I do. Maybe I put off an aroma. Maybe it's my man musk that she can't handle. Ooh. Ew. Alec, I don't know what Klein 3 is, but I don't like it on the nose.
It's Scotch.
I don't think it's Scotch. It smells like meat.
It smells like meat.
Smells like meat. Smells like
Bacon. Beef stick.
yeah, like the beef sticks, like those sausage, those hunter sausage sticks. A toxic pheromone I give away. Yes, that is what I give off is a toxic pheromone. Carrie parties so hard on Fridays it takes the whole. You know, that's the thing. If she was partying, then we could be like, oh, that's what it is. She's partying and she's just hungover because she's old and out of shape. But that's not it. Meat water 101. I think that's what he said. He sent me a glass of the meat sweats. The meat sweats. Beware the sausage. Unami bomb. All right, that's really low proof. And that is super nutty. Like peanuts. Reminds me of Peerless. That's so peanutty. It reminds me of Peerless.
DNR says it's hot dog water.
It could be hot dog water.
Or beef fizz.
Well, it doesn't taste like hot dog water or beef fizz. Although I got to be 100% honest, I've never tried hot dog water, so maybe it does. Carrie, you did have 4 drinks this week, Amanda says. Yeah, and Amanda got attacked by a mastodon. So, you know, there's all sorts of things that went on this week.
And we're back.
I have never felt less about Klein's manliness than I do right now. Hunter sausage sticks. Tony, what is your last name? Gastein? Something like that. You've never had Hunter sausage? Dude, Hunter sausage is fantastic.
DC says it's Slim Jim juice.
Slim Jim juice. Oh, Bev Porter, happy 50th anniversary, Bev. Bev, I love you. You brought us one of the sweetest men in the world. So I love you. Thank you. John Gresham. Cheers, Klein. Looking forward to the golf bag whiskey. If you're ever in Mississippi, let me know. I will. And thank you for the $5 super chat. That golf bag whiskey is legit. So this is really weird. This nose and palate don't match. It's super peanuts on the palate. So I'm going to move on to Klein 4. So far, I like Klein 2 the best. Although Klein 3 actually has more of a finish than I thought, but thanks. I love you too. I love you more, Mama Porter.
OG Brick says it's a non-refrigerated style sausage.
Chris Buzalencia is from Biloxi. Where's your sister at in Mississippi? Carrie?
Wait, Oxford. She's at Ole Miss.
So Carrie's sister works for Ole Miss.
And her husband does too. So
we may be heading to Mississippi at some point. All right. I'm on a Klein 4. Klein 4. Hot dog water. Smoky, salty, greasy. That sounds right. Chris DiMartino, if that is your real name. All right, Alec, you're gonna have to come clean on some of this stuff. These all are lower proof, I think. All right. So 4. Trying to place that. 4 is familiar. Klein 4 is familiar. It's got a really good oiliness to it. Cheers, JG. How you doing, brother?
Alec Bradley is MIA. He hasn't said a word.
He said multiple words. The purpose of this flight is to guess which sample Alec teabagged. You know what, Varndor? That's probably very accurate. No D in my name. Chris Martino. There we go. I like D Martino. We're gonna go D Martino. Your middle name's D. Your middle name's David. Christopher David Martino. Don't act like there's no D in your name. Guy doesn't even know his own name. No wonder he goes by Thrasher. Unbelievable. Carrie, she has been ignoring you, Alec. All right, so I'm not really like guessing anything about these, like proof or anything. You just want me to know. You just want to know which one I enjoy. Well, I'll tell you this. I could be completely wrong. I think that 1 and 3 are under 100 proof. I think 2 is over, and 3 might be right at that mark, or 4 might be right at that mark. This is definitely the one that was filtered through Bradley's stash. One is tainted with taint. Perfect. Awesome. So at some point I'm drinking Alec Bradley's taint water. That sounds so much worse than I could possibly imagine it would have sounded when I said it.
Sounds sweaty.
It does smell sweaty.
Sweaty balls.
Am I tasting your sweaty balls? Tell Carrie to comb her hair, put her eyes on, and get in a shot. I mean, we have Carrie audio. She literally cannot stay away. She's not capable. Like, honey, you're sick. Lay down. Don't do anything. And then I start streaming, and she comes running down the stairs, and she wants to lay on the couch. She has to be able to talk and let you guys know that she's still alive. So
she can barely even talk.
She can barely even talk, I guess. Oh man, it looks like the Bucks are about to score again. Perineum taint. COVID, I don't know. Does COVID like come and go? Like you get it 1 week and it's gone, and then 1 week. Does COVID only work on the weekends? I don't know. All right, so Alec, I'm going to say I like 2 the best. I better go back through them. I better give them their just due. I'm kind of taking this not as seriously as I should. So 3 is a little better when I came back to it from 4. See, this is the problem I'm going to have. Now I'm going to take forever. Stanley Wagner's going to say, "Hey, man, what's going on?" Carrie, I sent Klein a DM with on my IG with my number. Apparently Stanley and Carrie are hooking up.
Stanley sent me an amazing recipe on Instagram. I can't wait to try it.
Yeah, nope. Still don't like 3. Nope. That's overly peanut. That is dickily heaven hell peanut. That's nope. So they all have. All right. So this one doesn't have that same finished profile that it had earlier. Are they all Dickel? Is that what you did? You send me all Dickel? They're peanutty.
Number 3 is Eat a Dickel.
Eat a Dickel. Nice. That's very nice. All right, Alec. I will say that I like 2 the best, but they all have a very similar profile, and they all have that not high proof, not much finish, peanutty style profile. So hit me with it. Tell me what I got here. And tell the truth too. Because I know how you are, and you'll be like, "Oh, I'm gonna lie. You had Pappy 23, Pappy 15." I know it's not the case, but this is just you being you. Now's not the time for your jokes, joke man. I've got to figure out what the link is for this because I didn't bother checking it out earlier. Oh, he's not announcing it. He's sending me a picture message. Huh. So we've got Hooten Young 12-year batch 1 is 1, which for a 12-year, that is the lightest, thinnest thing I've ever seen. 2, the one I like the best, is an IW Harper 15-year. This 3, wow, that's amazing because it's so nutty. I thought it had that wheatness to it, but it came through so nutty. So I said that 3 was wheat, but it came through nutty, and 3 is Maker's Mark RC6, and 4, which makes sense because I hated it, is 4 Roses Small Batch Select. So all not high proofers. I think if I had to get down and guess a proof, I probably would have done okay. I don't feel horrible with those results. I'm not familiar with Hooten Young 12. I'm not familiar with that at all. And it's very, for a 12-year, it's very light in color, and it's almost non-existent on the backside of your palate, which is surprising to me. But this IW Harper 15, that's pretty decent. It has a weird, I don't know how it's made, or I don't really know too much about IW Harper, but I can tell you that it comes across almost as like a finish. Do you get that, Alec? I just said stuff to throw you off. That makes sense. On the IW Harper, the 15, does that come across to you as finished? Crazy to think Maker's was like a meat stick. It literally, that's what it smelled like. It still smells funky. I get that on Harper 15. Huh. So there you have it. Meat sticks for everyone. I have got to get my link. Here we go. And I'm going to send this to Wags. And Mr. Stanley Wagner Jr. come hang out with us for a little bit and tell us about what he's got going on. Those of you that don't follow Stanley on Instagram, you need to make sure that you reach out and follow him. He's doing some great things, and he's a really kick-ass dude. So Stanley, I'm going to send this to you via Instagram, or through Facebook, sorry. So Stanley, maybe I am. My computer is doing funky things right now. Haven't had Harper 15 since I sent it to you. Yeah, it's different, man. Stanley Ag. All right, apparently my Facebook Messenger isn't working, so I'll send it to you via Instagram. I had to punch in my Facebook Messenger, and it's just not coming up, which is how things work when you're not prepared and you're trying to do things that way. So let's go to the mash bill. There you are, buddy. And there you go. You should have the link to join me right now, buddy, on the mash bill. Sometimes ECBP comes across as a finished bourbon when I taste them blind so much. Well, and the funny thing is with knowing what Alec has now probably hurts me a little more, because I was trying to place bottles. I was trying to be like, okay, is this the bottle? Is this what he has? Could it be this? Could it be that? And what do I know? It obviously wasn't. So I'm gonna bring on my boy Stanley Wagner. So how you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's going on?
Your mic's not on.
What? It's not. The mic's not on?
Oh yeah, I had the volume all the way down. Your mic's on.
Okay.
I forgot I wasn't streaming with anyone, so I didn't turn the volume up. So I'm like, oh, I can't hear you.
Yeah, right. I mean, I didn't mean to jump on, your little single prohibition thing. I just thought, if you start getting bored, that you might want to talk to somebody that's not laying down on a couch.
Not funny.
No, man, I don't mind at all. It's we've been talking about trying to get together and bring you on and talk a little bit more about what you're doing out there in California.
Well, not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. Still not working and trying to put everything into this Instagram and YouTube thing. But yeah. So this week, like you were talking about on Friday, with the likes, that was definitely an interesting live. I decided to become Jason Busey for a night and drop a couple $100. I know you saw the first one. I didn't know how long you stayed on or not, but I know that you saw the first $100 drop because you made a little comment about it. Yeah. But yeah, that was crazy. And then I didn't really want to. I wasn't trying to gain kind of recognition by giving when I gave the second, giving away my sample to Kilco. It's just you know me well enough, and a lot of these guys know me well enough to. That's what I do. I just want to. I'm just trying to help other people get what they can't get. Luckily for me, I have plenty of stuff to still go through before I need to worry about getting anything else for myself. But I still got a Mare Pingree I got to open up. I still got a pandemic special to open up, some swordfish oil, a bunch of shit. But no, this week's going to be big, another big one for me. I'm up, I believe I'm thinking at like 270. I went up 20 over a couple days. So I'm up to 270 right now on a few followers. But this Thursday, I arranged to do my live with Whiskey Central.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have Shayla on Thursday. Just talk about what she does. Get some more eyes on her. Basically, after you're done here tonight, I'm going to go live on Instagram for a little while, do some shout outs to some new channels that I found on YouTube and on Instagram. Also discuss just talk in general. And if anybody wants to come on live with me, it's no problem if you want to jump on. But my other thing is that I'm actually doing my first live blind tomorrow night on Instagram on Mondays Suck is the show. It's hosted by Hood Sommelier and the Single Barrel Snob. They're having a contest where there's 3 people in each category: bourbon, rye, Japanese, and Scotch. And they sent out one sample completely blind, and you have to do proof, distillery, and what the bottle is of just 1 2-ounce sample they sent out. And then the winner of each category gets like swag bags and stuff like that. It's the first time they're trying it out as something they might be able to do more often. And it's kind of like their trial and stuff. And I just happen to be one of the lucky people that got picked to do it. I have a shitty palate, so I don't plan on actually winning anything from it. But hey, it's something else to learn from and stuff. So
well, you'll be surprised if I can give you like just a titch of advice when it comes to trying to guess proof. At least set yourself up with a nice benchmark. So have a pretty generous pour of something that's 100 proof, and really get your palate set to that 100 proof. So and then you can fairly easily tell what's above it and what's below it. And if you start to lose track of that halfway through, just when I say a fairly generous pour, go back to what you have and take a sip of what you were drinking before to reset your palate to that 100 proof level. So you can, again, start to gauge whether or not you need to go higher or lower than that. It works for me. It helps me a lot to kind of get an idea of am I going higher? Am I going lower than this?
Right. And you know what? I appreciate that. I was trying to figure out what I was going to do. I didn't know if I was going to sit there all day. I mean, for a portion of tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow morning, just going through, like going from 90 through 100, 140 and just going, getting semi-slammered before the live and then taking my chances, but that's a better idea.
Yeah, that's because otherwise you would end up slammered. So, hey, Tony G, welcome to Destination Bourbon, buddy. Thanks for joining. Amanda Sprague, where is Jason Busey tonight? Is he all tapped out from last week? I don't know. I'll tell you what, Amanda, in the Patreon page, he said, "Oh, Carrie can't stream. Where's Amanda?" So maybe when I told him that you weren't going to be on, he said, "Screw it. I don't even want to be a part of what Klein's got going on. He's not going to be with the women. I don't want to see it."
Yeah, he on Friday he wasn't on the stream with Matt or with Trev before that. So I sent him a message making sure he was all right. And he was on Chris on Hot Buttery Rolls last night. Yeah, he just told me that he's been set with his new job, getting used to the new work schedule and everything else, that he was just super tired on Friday and he just came home, sat down and fell asleep. And then I don't know why he's not here tonight, but hey, from what he said he was drinking last night, maybe he got tired again.
Yeah, you never know, man. By the way, what are you sipping on?
It's my own new concoction. It's Hancock's, and I actually ordered. It's called Baja Blast Zero. You can only get it at Taco Bell.
So I ordered the Mountain Dew Baja Blast.
Yeah. So I just took it. Basically, yeah, that's what it is. It's just I wanted to try something different, and this is actually my favorite like soda in the world, but it's hard to get. So I decided to order some from Taco Bell. They brought it over, and I've been using it as a mixer with the first one was Hancock's. This one is Doc Swinson's Alter Ego. It's a 90. It's a 90 proof. It's a 90 proof rye that was finished in rum cast. So I figure the rum cast with the Baja Blast would probably be pretty decent.
Yeah.
Hey, it works. But I'm just taking it a little easy tonight. So I'm not. Last night and Friday I don't know what it is about Chris, but every time I get on with him and Josh on Hot Buttery Rolls, I end up with like 11 bottles out on my table and a whole bunch of having to clean freaking cleanse. So, and then Friday night was that was a lot of fun. But yeah, it was crazy. I'm hoping that I can even get close to like doing a charity stream that gets that kind of interaction and money to be able to give back to give to some of these charities I'm going to be trying to work with.
So the premise of your channel is doing a lot of stuff with people that can't get bottles and charities, both, correct?
Right. So it's basically just people in the community that they've gone through so much garbage this last year, or even for the last 20 years of their life. It doesn't matter, but I'm there for them to talk to, for them just to listen, just to have somebody there for them. And then if someone has a problem getting a hold of a bottle due to the fact it's not in their area, or they just don't have the money for it, I try to find a way of at least getting a sample to them, or somehow getting them connected with people that can get them at least taste of what they want. And I also am, I'm going to be getting back out after this when California is not under lockdown, getting back out and doing some hunting and stuff like that for people that'll be able to watch me live and talk to me live. And if they see a bottle they need or see a bottle they want, then I'll be able to get it for them. And then they'll just have to pay what I paid plus shipping to them. Mm-hmm. So bottle plus tax plus shipping. Nothing for me. I'm not trying to take anything off the top or try to make any money off of it. There's a group of us that do this like on the regular. I'm not too much out in the actual hunting part of it live until recently. Well, until soon, pretty soon. But the rest of the group is. So I lead. I'm online probably 6-7 hours a day across the United States looking for bottles for people, and then directing them towards the
Tony
bottle.
G has a good point. What you're doing is you're buying bottles, and then through different people, you're hand delivering them to them, right? So the cost of delivery is the hand delivery fee, right?
Right. Whatever. Yeah. Whatever.
Definitely not shipping.
Oh no. I would never. I couldn't do that. But yeah, I have different hand delivery services in different states that I can get people hand delivered stuff. I actually, I have what I would say my connections in Michigan are very few. I have, I can contact you. The junkies are, well, I could probably contact Sean and he'd probably help me out. But, Dan, he's, he can barely get out of his house because of the size of his head. So he can't really help me out a whole lot, but I hope that someday he can. But then
Wow.
Scott and Rotgut and some of the other guys that are up in that area. And then I've been offered from Uncle Buck and some of the guys down in the Chicago area for help if I need it to find stuff. So I'm trying to just build a network where people can go and contact, not give out like directly who got me bottles and stuff. They can go through me to get to that way that person doesn't get bombed, shelled with stuff. But just basically trying to broker, but not make any. I'm not trying to make any money off it. I'm just trying to get people not have to pay secondary for stuff if they don't have to.
Right.
And then I have connections to a couple different people that are into charities and stuff like that. And so I'm gonna do some charity streams, and I'm working with a couple of people that I met here in the chat. Adriana, C. Rodriguez, she's in the chat right now. I'm going to be working with her on a uterine cancer and Alzheimer's charity stream here in the next month or so.
Yeah.
And then like what you guys did, like what Trev and Jason and everybody else is doing, the same kind of thing, just trying to raise money for different charities and stuff through the year. I want to have at least 4 streams this year to do that. And so, yeah,
dude, that's awesome. Why don't you tell what got you into bourbon? Like, how did you ever? I mean, how did you drink beer? What brought you to bourbon?
Okay, truthfully, what it was I was in the Navy. When I was in the Navy back in 89 to 98, I was strictly whatever was put in front of me, I was hammering it down. Go to the Philippines and wake up, go downtown on Tuesday, wake up on Friday, and then go back to the ship. That kind of thing. And then I was pretty much, when it came to bourbon, it was Jim Beam White Label. A friend of mine from Wisconsin, his name's Johnny Fullader. He got me into drinking Beam, and then Beam turned into Beam and Cokes, and then it turned into so let's just say a 750 and an 18 pack a day for a little while. And then I quit drinking altogether. And then I just, every once in a while I would have a drink. And then some stuff happened in my life. The pandemic happened. I started looking for stuff in February of last year to watch. And I come across the Whiskey Tribe?
Yeah.
Whiskey Vault, came across them, thought they were hilarious. And then I just typed in bourbon, and then the Junkies showed up. And I started watching the Junkies, and then they kept on saying this Klein. They kept on saying your name all the time. I'm like, who the hell is this Klein? So then I went back in the videos and I saw the the basement, well, the bunker shit show. And that's where I come across Matt and you, and then you started your channel, and you saw it was right after Pillow Sean or whatever it was that you'd come in not too long after that and done a show, alive with them, and then it just went from there. And then Mash and Drum popped up because I hit the junkies, and then because of Mash and Drum, I found Scott, and then I just started getting into that. I just started getting into the whole whiskey tube thing. That was like February last year, and then I lost. I was, I spent probably about 7 or 8 hours a week watching it, all the stuff, and then I lost my job in May after 15 years, and of last year, and I decided I was going to take a year off. I had the money in the bank and in other accounts and stuff to go ahead and take time off, and because I've been grinding for so long. And that's what I did. I just got really heavy into whiskey tube. And then next thing I know, I was buying bottles. I'd start doing what everybody said not to do. And I started chasing shit.
Yeah.
And I started getting bottles. And then next thing I know, I got all these bottles and half of them aren't open. And I'm like, I got to stop doing this. And then I just went from there. I met up with some people on Instagram that did bottle hunting, traded some bottles here and there, gave away some bottles to people just because, gave bottles to other people on Instagram to pass on to other people when they found somebody that needed one. And then it just went from there. And then I decided that I liked giving. I liked being a good guy. And basically, I would have to say that once I lost my job in May, the community on both Whiskey Tube and on Whiskey Graham saved me, because I had gone through like some serious depression prior to that. And after joining the community and how you guys have treated me, I've never met you face to face. This is actually, when you came on my Instagram, for my first show, you popped up. I went ahead and brought you on live. We did like 45 minutes, and that's the first time you'd ever seen me. We hadn't talked or anything, just been here. And for you, the way that you and Scott, Scott from My Bourbon Journey, he's been hitting me up a lot lately, just checking up on me, seeing how I'm doing and stuff. And I appreciate that. And I'm going to have him soon also. My goal is to get Scott on here pretty quick. At least Sean Paisley. I'd like to get him on.
I think you'd be better off with Pillow Sean. I mean, everybody in chat was talking about remember Pillow Sean. I think it would be awesome if you did a live stream with Pillow Sean. That'd be great.
Well, okay. Now we already had this. We actually had this. I think I texted you about this. I've completed a couple different guests for my first few YouTube deals, and I'm going to go ahead and say that my first guest on my first live is going to be Rain Dan. I'm in the process of creating a stick version of Dan Shook that will be called Rain Dan, and that's in retaliation for Pillow Sean. And then but yeah, so I'm gonna try to do a little bit more funny stuff with it. I've got some Jason Calori stuff in the back pocket too that I'm really proud of what I'm working on for that one. My biggest one right now is I'm trying to put together a movie poster of a certain movie with 5 whiskey tube giants, but I need to get pictures of their faces first. But once I get that, then yeah, I'm working on some memes and everything else too to make it fun for everybody. Kind of like what you do. I'm not into doing reviews. I don't got the great, you have an awesome palate, but I don't particularly have one. But the thing is like you said, it's just sharing it with the people and hoping that people like what I'm doing.
I think when you talk about a palate, it's funny because you said you're going to start to do some Tony G. I shouldn't be on that poster. That's for damn sure. When you talk about a palate and like somebody has a good palate or somebody doesn't have a good palate, I think that with whiskey, food, anything, it all depends on what your life experience is. And I think a lot of times people try to overthink it and find things aren't there. So like, when somebody says there's bananas in there and somebody's like, well, I'd never taste bananas, but I'm going to try really hard to taste bananas. I know, to bring out the banana hammer, but that's just your life experience and what you've tasted and how your brain is associating it with that. I think the worst mistake anybody can make in a blind or anything else is trying to overthink it. Just what does it remind you of? What does it take you to? And just let that happen.
Right. I mean, the Brian Kilco is really good at that. I always tell him to stop doing the self-deprecation thing, and then I turn around and do it to myself half the time. But what he doesn't understand when he tastes something, he researches into it right there on his live stream. He goes on the computer, he sees what the tasting notes from somebody else are, and see if he grabs those same tasting notes. And if he doesn't, he tries to find out why he doesn't, or why he tastes something else. And I find that interesting. But like the only thing, truthfully, that I've ever really picked up is the Eagle Rare store pick. That I hate to say it, and every time that you freaking say it, I just want to go, it's getting as bad as Smooth is freaking grape soda, is fucking grape soda.
I know. But so for me, that's my brain's association with a really good Eagle Rare. They don't all have it, and in fact, a lot of them don't have it. It's when I do catch that grape soda note, then I know, I'm like, oh, that's a good bottle. That's that, and it's my version of a good bottle. Doesn't mean it's going to be your good bottle. It's just my version of that good bottle.
The thing was that you had said it enough, I guess, that when I went ahead, I have one store pick. I have 2 bottles of it, one store pick, and I was about halfway through the bottle already, and then I hadn't tasted the bottle in a while, and you had said it so much on all your streams, I didn't even think about it. I wasn't even watching you or anything else. I just poured me a couple ounces, sniffed it, trying to find something. Boom, freaking tossed some back. And I fucking tasted grape soda, and I'm like, son of a bitch. How does this freaking happen? So, but power suggestion, whatever you want to call it, but it's like, okay, now I get it, how that works. But yeah, I really don't have any more. I used to be kind of like strictly the Jim Beam guy. I tried to stay with the anything that had to do with the Beam Suntory freaking whiskey line when I first started. And then I was unfortunate enough to come across a freaking couple Elijah Craig store picks, and then it just all went crazy from there. Now I've got scotches and all kinds of stuff. I probably have about, I think my last count was like 170 bottles. I probably got about 15 scotches, and then I'd say 50-50 on the, I got like 5 or 6 Irishes, but 50-50 on the rest on ryes and bourbons. My favorite actually is something that Chris got me, or got hand delivered to me, which was my straight rye EHT. Yep. And then I finished one of these about a month and a half ago, but this is the one I just opened a couple days ago.
Toasted barrel?
Toasted barrel, yeah.
Yeah, hey, Thrasher just said Gary Franchi sent me a taste of Bardstown Bourbon Pfeiffer Pavant. Grape soda all day. Well,
yeah. So yeah, and then that's the other thing too, is that some of the stuff that I really want to get a hold of for myself.
Gary's going to bed, everybody. Good night, Gary. We'll stop what we're doing. Everybody say good night to Carrie.
But so yeah, I'm not looking for a whole lot, because of the few things that I did want to get for myself. I've pretty much either gotten samples of. The only thing I'm looking for right now, I think, would be, because I got my Mare Pingree from you, and then which was one I was really looking for. And hopefully, my thing is that I want to get up there so that when there's go to Valentine and get like a black label or a blue, or was it blue or something like, get some other ones. But the one I'm looking for now is Josh and Chris, Hot Buddy Rolls sent me a 15-year
Oh, the
Old Soul.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so now I've been looking for one. I've had some offers sent to me from other people on Instagram, but they want like 140, 160. And it's not, for me, I'm not doing that kind of big buying like that anymore. Or right now at least. But other than that, I'm just trying to fulfill other people's what they want. Gerard, I'm trying to think of his first name. Brian Gerard. He's on here every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
But he's turning 40 this year. And so his wife gave him this idea to do 40 to 40. So for 40 days straight, he's drinking a different one of his a sample out of different one of his bottles.
That's a good wife, by the way, to say, you know what, I'm giving you permission to drink for 40 straight days. I mean, that's pretty solid.
Right. And he's here in Orange County, not too far from where I'm at. And I saw that on, I think it was on Hot Buddy Rolls. And I just put it out there. I said, well, send me a list of what you got. And if you don't have enough for 40 days, I'll fill out the rest with samples out of my collection. And then he sent me the list. And then today he asked me a question that I'm having a hard time with, which was his favorite bottle is Elijah Craig Barrel Proof B520 and a Knob Creek Store Pick. Those are his two favorite bottles. And his wife gave him permission for his 40th birthday to get one bottle up to $300. So he asked me, I don't know why he asked me. I don't know if it's just because I was giving him some samples and stuff for he should get. And I'm like sitting there going, you got Elijah Craig. So you got freaking, trying to think, Heaven Hill. And then you've got Knob Creek and you got Beam Suntory. So, and those are two completely different flavor profiles. So I'm trying to figure out what that quote unquote $300 bottle would be. And the only things I can come up with is a Parker bottle, one of the cheaper Parker bottles, or that's what I've come up with so far.
Trev Wilson just said he should get an old Carter. That's actually what I told him to get. So he messaged me the same thing. And,
okay, cool.
Yeah, and I said, dude, if I were you, with the $200 to $300 range, I'd see if you can get your hands on an old Carter.
Yeah, because that's my thing too. Is I really love old Carter, but I've only tried two. I've only tried Bourbon Batch 4 and Kentucky, the newest one, Kentucky Batch 1. Those are the only two I've tried, and I love both of them. But I didn't want to steer him the wrong way because I was thinking about maybe going old Carter or going with the Kentucky Owl 10 or 10 rye. Because you can get a Kentucky Owl 10 rye right now for around $189 to $200 in different places here in California. So I was like, I was going to think about going that way, but I was like, well, if his favorite thing is Elijah Craig, I'd probably would think you want to go toward maybe a $300 bottle in the Heaven Hill category. That way, at least he'd probably like it. But
yeah, I mean, he could probably get like a William Heaven Hill or something like that. That would, be more along that profile that he's looking for, which is funny because it's so far out of my profile. Thrasher actually said Kentucky Owl Batch 9 or 10, and I got quite a bit of nuttiness off Kentucky Owl Batch 9 that would probably fit his profile as well. Personally,
right. Yeah, and then the thing was like the other night with Friday night stream. I don't know if I want to know what the final count was for the guy who got the samples, because whoever got those samples, they had 20, I believe it was 23 before they started the stream, then one for every $100 donation. So that was 38 plus one of everything they drank on stream. So I figured it out to be around 63 different 1 ounce samples that one person won.
One person's gonna have some pretty amazing stuff.
Yeah, Nate Russell won that. Let's see. Yeah. So yeah, Nate Russell won that. Freaking John T, he won that, the new Woodford. That was pretty epic the other night. And then how Matt didn't start crying because you could see it in his face that he was so overwhelmed
Right.
of what was going on, and how, I mean, that you're like, it's like 50, before the cut from YouTube, it was around 5,300 before the cut. So, that's huge. I mean, that's huge for Matt, especially, I know he won Bardstown, but that's huge to allow him even more leeway to where maybe his wife doesn't have to go back to work immediately somewhere, and they don't have to travel.
Well,
as much as
everybody's donations are huge. I mean, no matter what it is that you do for a living, you're not used to spending money on Bourbon Channel related things, right? So
right.
I don't know that it's in any of the Bourbon Channel's budgets, except for the people that have probably been doing it for a long time. I know pretty much every single thing that any channel upgrades, anything, they come out of my pocket. So the super chats, the Patreon, everybody that supports the channel, it's huge. And so for rather, regardless of what your personal situation is, the one thing I have found in life is if you make more money, you spend more money. So
right.
Your lifestyle is set around what it is that you do for a living. So to add something else to it, it's a huge help to have people to give super chats and to do Patreon and be involved. That helps the channels get better, and it helps people reinvest in what they do. So it's for Matt, for anybody, that type of thing is really much appreciated, I think.
Yeah. So I have, those cases, the what are they called? The black cases, the waterproof cases that everybody has, all the people carry around their stuff in. I have 4 of those, like knockoff. They're knockoff ones. They're not Pelican cases, but I have 4 of them, and I'm converting them into live streaming kits. One's going to be a live streaming kit that I'm going to put everything together so that I can do my Instagram or YouTube from anywhere. So that's always ready to go. I can just grab it and go if I want to. And then a couple of
thanks, Brian. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, sorry about that. And carry some bottles and stuff like that for preempt, just a tasting somewhere with somebody I don't, or go do something. There's a lot of distilleries here in California that I really want to go visit. That's my other thing too, is that anybody who has a craft distillery in their area that doesn't get any promotion or anything because they're like really small or whatever, shout them out to me, and I'll see if I can try to arrange something to where I can get a hold of some of those spirits and get other people in other places to be able to taste them and be able to spread the word on some of this stuff. I just found out today my favorite brewery in California. It's here's an empty can from last night. It's a slow. It's a San Luis Obispo brewery. They actually have a spirits company that has whiskeys and ryes and barrel proofs and stuff like that. I just found out last night. And there's a whole community up in San Luis Obispo. It's like 9 or 10 different distilleries that they actually have a tour, like the whiskey trail for Northern California. And so I'm going to reach out to them. And then Josh Barnett, MMA fighter, he's the owner of Sespe Creek Distillery, who puts out Warbringer and War Master.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to try to reach out to see if maybe I can at least talk to him live. Everybody wants to talk to Aaron. I'd love to talk to Aaron from freaking Smoke Wagon. but yeah, that's what I'm working on that too. Also in the background, trying to get some of these smaller craft distilleries here on the West Coast and anywhere else that you might need a shout out there to everybody, so they can start checking those places out too.
Yeah, that type of stuff is good for the craft distilleries and everybody. Right. Gary Franchi, because I was talking about it, he had given me a sample of William Heaven Hill 13-year bottle and bond. So he's like, "Have you tried it yet?" And so I just poured some. It's freaking salty, stale peanuts.
Hey, at least you didn't say, it's not something that where you said that word that brings out Dan but
yeah, well, it's definitely not that. I mean, that William Heaven Hill 13 is, I don't know, it's like a sour oak, a sour peanut shell. That's just the thing is, that just doesn't, Heaven Hill doesn't fit my profile. It doesn't fit my taste profile. So I'm always going to get something off-putting from it because it's not what I like.
Right.
With the exception of the Elijah Craig barrel proof. Something about those I really enjoy. I think they're less peanutty. That's the thing. I mean, for me anyway.
Yeah, but you're also one of the few people that like toasted barrel too, right?
I think the reason I like it so much is because it's so off profile for Heaven Hill.
Right. See, the other thing is with me with the palate thing is that I have chronic sinusitis. So 1 week I can't, my nose is completely clogged, so I can't smell anything. And then the next week, everything's freaking great. Just depends on the alignment of the stars and stuff. So sometimes like the toasted barrel, I can smell it today. I could taste it today and it's freaking awesome. But when I had it the other day, my nose was clogged up. So it threw my taste completely off. And I was like, what is this freaking swill? But, but I'm glad. I mean, I'm happy that you let me come on and waste some people's time and stuff like that. But
no, dude, it was fun, man. I appreciate having you on. I just told Trev we'll run the giveaway in 5 minutes. So, is there anything, anyone or anybody in particular that you want to give a shout out to from Instagram?
Okay. Actually, it's 3. I could shout out 3 different people right now that are Instagram and YouTube. I just found them on YouTube because they were on Instagram, and actually one of them I found out last night on Chris's stream. It's The Drink Pro. The Drink Pro on YouTube. It's one word, all lower caps. I just came across him the other night for some just trying to find something at 9:00 at night when nobody was on Thursday night, and came across him, and he's freaking hilarious. He's in Indiana. Hilarious. His wife is freaking hilarious. They're pretty. I would say you got to watch him to believe it, but he's going through some stuff right now with some neurological stuff that he can explain on his channel, where he can't drink as often as he would like to, but his Instagram and his YouTube are awesome. The other one is Drams and Drums. He's basically a percussionist that also loves whiskey. Kind of weird how percussionists and drummers love whiskey, but he's also on both Instagram and on freaking YouTube. He was just on Hot Buttery Rolls last night. I just watched some of his stuff, and it's really good. He gets in depth. He's kind of along the lines of Jason and Shayla and stuff that go into the history of things and dive a little deeper.
Hey, wait a minute. I got into the history. I did history tonight. I don't get any props. I mean,
okay.
That was solid.
Okay.
History.
I'm sorry. I should have said something. Every once in a while, everybody says something about the history because it's something they read. Something they read on, off the label or
Actually, I'll be
they heard on a
100%
tour.
honest with you, dude. I got that history. I watched Jackie Zykan do a thing about Whiskey Row. She did a video, and so she went into why the 1910 is the way it is because of the over charred. That the barrels are basically charred to incineration because of the fire. So, I mean, she just went through the whole Whiskey Row series, and I don't know, it really intrigued me. So what I got, I don't know that any of what I said was exactly accurate, but what I got was from that. Real quick though, Thrasher, the pandemic special from Jay Mattingly is MGP. So it's a 6-year. It's a blend of 6-year MGP rye and 4-year MGP wheat. Will Henderson, thank you for the super chat. Hopefully you win another bottle in 1920. Cheech Artolino, it's always a good time with you, Klein. Enjoy your channel and content. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. Maureen Franchi, 1920 is a need tonight. And Amy Bohm, here's to Trev the Wrench, who is without a doubt the hardest working wrench on the internet, and that is a fact. Thank you, Trev Wilson, and thank you, Amy Bohm.
Yeah, I got a shout out to Amy Bohm. She has been killing it over on Hot Buttery Rolls because he's not. He was going to do a monetized stream the other night, and she the last minute because it wasn't an official tour he could do it. She's his main wrench right now, or she's been his main wrench for a while now, and he just told her, "Hey, can you do this?" She said yes, and boom, she just jumped on it and is doing everything by hand because off of his PayPal. And
I didn't even see you like throw a super chat in while we were talking. So thank you.
Right. Well, I mean, okay. So just so Amy or anybody else, okay. So whoever's Trev. So if for some reason my number comes up, I already have two 1920s, two 1910s, and a couple 1915 that I mixed myself. So if I win, take the bottle and just pick a second random number and give it to somebody that needs it more than I do. Okay.
That's
just
cool.
Thought I'd throw it out there.
Aiden Craig, eat me. Thank you, buddy. That's the type of stuff I love. Ernie Brubaker, love the Old Forest 1920. Need a refill. And John Reese, cheers. Cheers, brother. Thank you.
Yeah. And by the way, to answer that question, yes, I was I was talking to Klein and super chatting at the same time. I kind of hacked this. I'm using my phone as my camera, but I got my laptop set off with a wireless that I have in my lap so that if I need to say something or whatever, I can still do it while I'm talking.
Yeah, that's the other thing with learning how to live stream and how to do it right. I mean, it's tough with getting the lighting right and moving things around and trying to get the setup right and having the wireless keyboards and the wireless, it's like everything's got to be set up so that you can. And I have a big TV that's right here that has all the chats on it, so I can see them. So like when I was at the Mash and Drum, he's got everything set up on a little computer. I was not following. I'm so used to my setup. I wasn't following the chats when I was on his stream. It was like foreign.
Yeah. So, because I was setting up that other studio, in my other room, I started doing the same thing. I have all kinds of cameras. I mean, you think because of doing the concert stuff and setting up video for people to do music stuff and everything else, I have like little small zoom cameras and stuff like that. And I'm trying to figure out which one I'm going to use. And so far, other than my M50 and my Canon RP, my phone actually puts out like this awesome freaking picture with this crappy lighting. This is like, all it is I have two freaking regular old lamps, and then I have a lamp stuck in a door turned off to the side so that I didn't get a shadow behind me so that it would actually hit this side of my face. And I'm just playing with that, but I have like full lighting setups, the whole 9 yards for the other stuff I'm working on. And yeah, it's crazy how I tried to do some stuff in there with just my laptop sitting like just a couple feet away, and it's so hard to follow. Even right now, so hard to follow this chat. And so because of you and Chris and a few other, and I'll say it, Dan Shook and freaking Sean, I went out and bought a freaking like a 36-inch TV or whatever, 40-inch TV, just to just sit there so I could read chats. I'll be able to read chats off it. And I have two 24-inch monitors getting sent to me so that I can turn them up into freaking what do you call it, portrait mode, so I can follow whatever chat I'm going with, whether it be Instagram or whatever. So
I have to address something here. So I think Alex, I don't know if Alex started or what. He was the first one I saw that said that for a tater, he likes me. Carlo Max says for a tater, I'm a hell of a guy. Listen, because you like Blanton's, that does not make you a tater. I'm one of the people out there that will actually say it because I just don't care. I know that I enjoy it. And if you guys watched his stream, guess what? He picked my bottle. So there's bottles out there that are amazing. And so whatever, screw you all. Blanton's is not a bad product. Here's
the best thing right now though. I brought this up on Friday night. Last night on Hot Buttery Rolls because Mr. Calori, he won a bottle of Blanton's last night. And so I brought it up that wasn't it ironic that a man who hated Blanton's freaking 4 or 5 days ago, on Wednesday did a stream with Klein, decided that he liked Blanton's, and now he didn't jump back in and say, no, go ahead and give it away. I don't want it. He went ahead and took that bottle.
Yep. So,
sorry, Jason, you're now officially a tater.
Carlo Mack just told me no need to get all defensive. Have a drink and unwind. And Dram Bam, thank you, ma'am, said that I'm the most baller tater. I'll take that. I'll be the most baller tater.
Yeah, I'll give you that too. I'll give you that baller tater thing. But yeah, hey, you know what, Mike? Freaking, I appreciate the fact that you give a damn about me, and you didn't have to do half the things you've done for me. And you don't have, and I'm still figuring out all this live stuff and everything else. And you and Hot Buttery Rolls, and I'll have to make a shout out to Bourbon Jeeper, which is on Instagram. It's at Bourbon Jeeper. He's done a lot over on Instagram to support me. There's a whole bunch, so many people that I could say that have supported me over on Instagram too. And here, but you guys, you and Carrie and Chris and Josh, you guys have gone out, and Trev too. You can't forget Trev, have completely gone out of their ways to make sure that I'm okay, that I'm getting, my lives are working. Trev actually turned around and made an Instagram account for the Bourbon Wrench. He wouldn't even let me shout, he wouldn't even let me tag him in a picture on his Trev Wilson channel on Instagram. Then all of a sudden, boom, he's got, he's over with the Bourbon Wrench, and I'm glad that people are starting to do that. But yeah, my 1,000 subs people that I wanted to really get to is the Drink Pro, and then Whiskey Fancies. If you're not watching those girls, they're freaking awesome. They're over on Instagram, and they're also here on YouTube. They have some really good, really good videos, and it's really weird. It's kind of like the Bourbon Junkies dynamic of one of them's the straight man, like freaking Sean Paisley. The other one's a little bit in your face, like Dan Shook. But I'd rather watch them than Dan. But that's that's my own preference. So. But well, yeah,
you had said to that. Thank you for giving a damn about you, dude. That's the easiest thing to do in the world. When there's good people, it's easy to give a damn about them, and you're definitely good people, and you take care of a lot of people in the whiskey community, and you're always around. And when we're doing the live streams and we're doing the whiskey channels and everything, I can speak for every channel here, every channel, that all of the people in chat feel like family. And we spend time with you in our own homes, right? So we're in our own homes. We're hanging with you in our own homes, and you all feel like family. And it's amazing to get to know you personally, and just the fact that you're one of the family. You're part of the family, man. And I appreciate you, and we love you to death, man. Wish you nothing but the best.
All right, thank you very much. And I just need to ask you one last question.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I was going to run this past Chris too. I was thinking about doing I'm not on YouTube yet, but I was thinking about doing a Patreon from Instagram for now, and then see how that goes, and then work it towards the YouTube. I will be on YouTube before the end of the month. I promise you that. Whether it just be a real quick video or a live, I will somehow be on. Also, I've been asked by Scott from My Bourbon Journey to come onto one of the shit shows when he does his next shit show. And there's a few other people that have reached out to me that on Instagram and on YouTube, where I might be doing some stuff with them also. But if anybody needs any behind the scenes stuff, like just searching out something or information they can't get a hold of, don't be afraid to send anything out to me. To just go on _Mashville on Instagram, and it'll give you my email, and shoot me an email if you need any help with anything, whether you need me on a live to help or for something, or you just got a question about something that you need researched. Just send it to me, and I'll do what I can do. But I was just wondering if you thought that doing a Patreon off of Instagram would be a good idea.
Well, I don't honestly. Patreon is for creators, and
right.
It's not. It doesn't say that the creators have to be on YouTube. So I feel like if you started a Patreon and put it out there, and you were using that Patreon money for content, regardless of the platform, I don't think it would be an issue at all. Real quick before I lose it up here, Trev Wilson, I pulled the wrench card, fixed the spreadsheet, randomized the giveaway, had Siri pick a random number, which was 11, and 11 goes to Aiden Craig. So Aiden Craig, you won the 04 through 1920. Thanks, buddy. I think Aiden Craig also was a winner last week for one of the samples. I have to throw that up there again. Nope, he wasn't. It was Austin Feltz. Sorry, Aiden. But I was looking, I was I thought I remember seeing that, but that was a different. So congratulations, Aiden. Make sure that I'm pretty sure I have your info, but make sure I do. You won the 1920. Nice work, buddy. Congratulations.
And you have my address, so I don't need to send it to you, right?
No, I have your information, buddy. Yep.
So yeah, and you know what? I'm gonna do something for myself for once. If you could please, even if I lose the other sample, could you send me a sample of the Blanton's Gold that you gave Jason?
The Blanton's Gold that I gave Jason.
Isn't that what you gave him? Was it a Blanton's Gold?
It was a regular Blanton's.
Oh, it was a regular Blanton's. Okay, now here's the thing.
The sample of his was his own Blanton's Gold.
Oh, okay. I have a Blanton's. I've never opened it. It's one of those things that I had to have it, so I went and spent the $129 and bought it, and then I hadn't opened it yet. And so, but I keep on hearing how everybody, even Chris, has said how awesome Blanton's Gold is compared to the regular Blanton's. So I was going to do hit the regular Blanton, see what I like, see what the difference is between that and Blanton's Gold or whatever. But yeah, you know what? Even if it's the sample of what Jason tasted against that way I can see what the difference is.
Yeah,
I would love to get a sample like that for myself. You know,
sure.
I'll be what do you call it? I'll be selfish for once, I guess.
Dude, not a problem. So what it was my regular off the shelf Blanton's beat his Blanton's Gold, and it beat Rock Hill Farms. So the two that he went up against was Rock Hill Farms and Blanton's Gold, and my Blanton's off that's what I was trying to explain to him, is that the thing with the Blanton's is there's some hitter bottles because it's a single barrel. Some of it some of it's a honey barrel product. It's really good. So I
Right.
will send you that. And
I want to. I actually, with that's funny that you said that one of the bottles is Rock Hill Farms.
Bye, Emily.
Because I won a Rock Hill Farms from Chris last night, and I've never had it before. And everybody that I've talked to that's had it says it ain't worth what the people are asking for it, and it's barely worth what retail is on it. So I don't know. But
it's
I guess
definitely worth what retail is on it. It's another good mash bill. I think it's mash bill 2 single barrel product. I like Rock Hill Farms a lot. So of course I would. I'm a tater. Blah 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 blah.
Oh, whatever. Freaking. That's the thing too, is that because somebody likes mash bill 2, people make. I mean, it's the truth. When you say mash bill 2, everybody's like, "Oh, you're freaking one of those guys," and I don't. You know what? Truthfully, I'll drink a lot of stuff, and I'm like, I don't know if it's Mashville 2 or Mashville 1 or Mashville freaking 17. I don't really care.
Well, Stanley, let's wrap it up. Let's tell everybody.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You and I can chit chat. Just don't get off. I'll chit chat with you before we wrap it up. But I want to say thank you, everybody. Oh, Juliel can use this for a drink, DoorDash, gas money, or bail. It could be any of them. Thank you, Julie. That's fantastic. I love you. Thank you.
And then I'll be going live on Instagram in about 20 minutes at 8 o'clock Pacific time, if anybody wants to jump in. So
awesome. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Appreciate everything that you guys do and being a part of this community. You guys are all the best. You're the best part of it. So you make our nights. On behalf of Mr. Wagner Jr. and myself, we will bid you all adieu. Good night, everybody.